Hi, in this video what we're going to look at is setting an IP address for the PLC and also turning on the remote reset functionality within the parameters of the PLC. So these are two parameters that we need to set. So we'll set the two parameters and then we upload them to the PLC and then we need to reset the PLC once we've changed the parameter in there. So the first one we look at is just turning on that remote reset. So to do that, we go to the navigation bar. So we can see the icon for it just up here. I have it open here in the window. I'll pin that open so we can see it. And then we go down here to parameters. So hit the plus there, and then the FX5 CPU parameters. So the CPU parameter here, we double click on that one, and that'll open up a window for us. And in here we see operation related setting. So click the plus on that, and then we have remote reset setting. And then we just go over here to the window and we double tap on that, we can enable it. Okay, so what this allows us to do is to send a reset command to the PLC through the software, as opposed to having to flick the reset switch on the actual PLC itself. Okay, so once we've changed that parameter, we just need to go down to the bottom here and click on apply. And that will apply that change that we've made. And then the second thing we want to do is we want to set up our IP address. So for this, we are still in the parameters here in the FX5 CPU parameters. This time we need to go into the module parameters here. So we just click on the plus beside that. And then we're going into the Ethernet port. So we just double tap on that. And that will turn on our Ethernet parameters for us. Bring us into this window where we can set them. So it's in the basic settings. So we just have it here. IP address, so we can just give it its IP address here. So just double click so we can type in. We're going to give this one 192.168.003, 003, and then we'll give it 50. Okay, so that's my IP address for this particular PLC. And then the other thing that we want to type in here is the subnet mask. So the subnet mask just defines our network and our host IP addressing. Okay, so we're going with 255.255.255 and then 0. Okay, so we're using that last octet to define all our host addresses and the left 3 octets to define the network. That's it. We don't need a default gateway in this particular setup. So again, once we're happy with our changes, we're going to click apply. Okay, so now we've set the remote reset parameter. We've set up the IP address. Now what we need to do is write it to the PLC. So just for this exercise here, I have the simulator running in the background. So I'm just going to write it to the simulator. It's exactly the same as writing to the PLC. So we go to online, write to PLC. And the important thing this time is to make sure we've clicked on the parameters. Okay, so we can do parameter and program here. I'll just click parameters and programs in here. Then we click execute. It gives us our little warning that the PLC is going to stop. Then we select, so there's a yes to all here. So we have the program file, which is the one we normally upload, but we have these other parameter files as well. So we just click yes to all on that, and it'll upload those. Then we can close. Okay, now you can see it just said there that it's resetting the simulator. So with the simulation software, anytime you change the parameters, it automatically resets the simulator for you. Okay, but what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go in and show you how you can execute that remote reset that we've set up in the parameter. So we go to online, and we go to remote operations. Okay, and this brings up our little remote operation windows here where we can run and stop the PLC. But as you can see here, we can also reset it. So if we click on the reset button and then click execute, just are you sure you want to reset? And then so this particular case, it wants us to stop. So we'll just do stop, and then we'll do reset. Sorry, we do stop, execute the stop. So when you're hooked up to the real PLC, when you've done that right with the parameters, it defaults to stop until you reset it. I said this is just with the simulator, it automatically did the reset for us. So Just reset there, and it tells us the reset is being issued. You can get a communication error here because essentially the reset is a reboot of the PLC, so you will lose communications during this process, but it should come back up then. So we just click OK there and OK there. What you'll find when you're connected to the real PLC is it may this window here may disappear. Okay, and if it does, if you just go back to online and click the remote operation, it'll pop back up again. All right, and you may need to put the PLC into run at that stage. Okay, so that's the setting of an IP address and the turning on the remote reset parameters, doing the two of those, and then uploading them to the PLC. And most importantly, again, once we change any parameter, is to reset the PLC because the parameter doesn't become effective until we've reset the PLC.